Hi guys, today I'm just gonna do a video about, well, the thing is, there's this app I have, give me a second, it's called Yu-Gi-Oh! CC, probably card creator, but, I make cards in here, and I just wanted to show you all an archetype. I might show you more in the future. I just felt like showing you all and seeing if you all kinda like them. Today I'm gonna show you the gray archetype, which is a small card set, but like smaller than some of the other ones I made. And we're just gonna read off of their effects and why I chose them. And yes, I know that's a picture of Dark Souls. When an opponent attacks a gray monster on your side of the field, negate the attack and then summon one level 3 or below gray monster from your deck. This card's a good tech card because most of the low level like 3-star monsters are kind of needed in order to do certain things. I'll explain later on as we go up. Next is Gray Swordsman. He is an Earth level 4 warrior effect monster. This card may attack twice per turn. If this monster attacks your opponent directly, special summon a gray monster from your hand at the end phase. This is a monster spammy deck. Like, each monster can summon another sometimes. And, just so you know, I didn't make any of the pictures in the following things. This is just a thing I did for fun. Now we're going to go to the next card, which is Grey Knight, which is a light level 4 warrior, and his description is one of many recruits in the Grey Army and a proud fighter among them, and his attack is much higher than Gray Swordsman, but his effect is that he can attack twice per turn, so that's a thing. And he's just a normal monster. He doesn't really have an effect. Alright, we're going to go to the next one, which is Grey Hollow, which is a continuous spell. And it says, when a face-up level 5 and up gray monster on your side of the field is destroyed, special summon one hollow token, Earth, level 3, warrior, attack 1300, defense 1200. Basically, there's a way to, like, recover some if you lose a high-level monster. Yeah, there's that. And then here's the next one, Grey Templar, which is a light level 4, and he's a warrior effect monster, and his effect reads as follows. When this card is normal summoned, gain 500 life points for each gray monster on your side of the field. When this card is destroyed by battle while in face-up attack position, special summon one gray monster from your hand. Basically, it's another one of those monster spammy cards, but it also has like a paladin-like effect where you gain life points for just because it's a Templar and they're like holy. And it gains an even better effect if you have an attack position, which is its weaker mode, so that's another thing. And then we have Grey Squire, one of those level 3s I mentioned. This card is special summoned by the effect of a gray monster. This card gains 200 attack and defense. Basically, with the other cards that like spam other monsters, if you choose this monster using the spam, it gains an effect, and it makes its attack and defense boosted, which that's just a thing I added. And then next on the list is the Hollow Token, which I know the picture is not that great, but it is an Earth level 3. If uses any other type of token, apply type, attribute, element, attack, defense, and level. And its attack is 1300, and its defense is 1200. And with our next card, we have Grey Defender, who is an Earth level 4 warrior tuner, because there's one tuner monster in this card set. And it says, a Grey Army Defender with a kind heart, who will do anything in his power to help his fellow comrades. And I made this one inspired by Elemental Hero Clayman, because Elemental Hero Clayman was my favorite Elemental Hero. And, sorry, getting a drink of water. His defense is 2100, and his attack is 600, and he's a normal monster, but he's really good in, like, the first hand, because you can set him, and obviously your opponent's most likely to take some damage if they attack it. Alright, next monster on the list is Grey Hollow Knight. Holy Knight, not Hollow. He's a light 3-star. He's a warrior tuner, so he's another tuner of the deck. When this monster attacks and destroys an opponent's monster, gain your life points by half of the opposing monster's original attack. So, in other words, if this monster can actually like beat over another monster, you gain half of that monster's attack points in life points, which, yeah, that's a pretty okay effect. Alright, next monster. We have Grey Executioner, one of the higher level ones in the card set. It's a dark level 6, and he's a warrior effect like the others. And this card can be special summoned by banishing the top 3 cards of your deck. If summoned this way, you may banish one monster in your opponent's side of the field. So it's a pretty simple banishing effect, but you have to sacrifice the 3 cards off the top of your deck. But in this way, you can also do an additional normal summon if you want to. And his attack is 2200 and his defense is 2400, so not bad. Alright, next card is Grey Charge, a quick play spell, which is common in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Set all monsters on your opponent's side of the field to defense position, and then all monsters on your side of the field must attack during your next battle phase. It cannot be skipped. This is a unique effect because, like, there's a condition to it. Like, a condition that's not usually used. Like, you have to do your next battle phase with all of the monsters on the field. And that's basically the point of the card. Next is Grey Spy, which is a dark level 1, and he's also a tuner, a warrior effect. All of them are warriors in the deck, by the way. Once per turn, when a monster on your side of the field is attacked, you can discard this card from your hand and negate that attack and destroy your opponent's monster. So basically, he's a hand trap. And once per turn, you can take 1000 life points of damage to give this monster 2000 attack. So if you wanted to, you can sacrifice 1000 of your life points to give this monster 2000 attack for a turn, if it's needed. So there's that. Alright, next card is Grey Spellblade, which is an Earth level 4 warrior effect, and he's the one. I think he's the only monster with a flip effect. But flip effect reads: when this card is flip summoned, you may destroy up to 2 face-down spell cards that your opponent controls. If they are traps, then return them to their original position. If this card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, find 1 gray monster in your deck and put it in your hand. Shuffle the deck afterward. So basically, this one's good for spell elimination. That's basically the main point of him, and he's just a solid beater if you need him. And his other effects pretty okay. And now we have one of the boss monsters. There are 3. We have Grey Captain, which is a dark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 star monster. Which honestly, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be light, so I'll have to fix that. He's a warrior synchro, and he's 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner gray monsters. When this card is special summoned from the extra deck, banish all dark-type monsters on the field. You can gain 500 life points for each one destroyed. So basically, if you're going against a dark deck with this card, you can do pretty heavy amount of damage just by summoning him. And he's pretty solid beater with 3000 attack, and yeah, that's that card. Next we have Grey Paladin, which is another one of the stronger monsters. He's a light level 8, and he is a warrior effect. When this card is special summon 1 level 4 or lower or below gray monster from your hand. This card gains 200 attack for each monster on the field. So basically, he takes 2 tributes, but he gains 200 attack for each gray monster you summon, and it's a spam deck, so he's liable to get pretty powerful. Plus, you get an automatic level 4 gray monster summon if you can summon this guy, so that's pretty good, which will help you go into the extra deck monsters. Next is Grey Valkyrie, who is a light level 3, and she's a warrior tuner, and the only female monster in the deck. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a gray monster, draw 2 cards. This is another one of those 2 level 3 monsters. If you do their special summon from the other monsters, you gain an additional effect. So she's like a pot of greed on legs, pretty much. Next card is Grey Dark Knight, which is a dark level 4 warrior Xyz effect. 2 level 4 gray monsters. Once per turn, you may remove 1 material from this card, banish 1 card in your opponent's side of the field. This plus the captain, if you can get them both on the field, it's kind of crucial for your win condition. The thing is about Gray Dark Knight, though, you have to summon him second, or he'll get banished when you summon Gray Captain, so you gotta be careful about that. Just so you know, these aren't real cards, even if they seem like it. Next we have Gray Gladiator, the Earth level 4, Warrior effect. When this card attacks and destroys an opponent's monster, they draw 1 card. If this monster attacks your opponent directly, this card is destroyed. This is just a really strong beater. That's pretty much what he is, but he has a condition to his strength, because you don't really need to tribute him for it. But his attack is really strong anyway. Next card is Gray Hunter, which is a dark level 5, and he's probably the strongest monster in the deck, to be honest, outside of like the extra deck ones. Which in real Yu-Gi-Oh! He'd probably either be banned or limited to 1 because of his effect, which is any monster destroyed by this card is sent to the banished zone instead of the graveyard, so that's already good. Once per turn, you gain 100 life points times the number of monsters in your opponent's banished zone. So each monster he kills gives you more life points on top of all monsters it destroys become banished. Plus he has a whopping 2,700 for level 5, which is, yeah, that's probably why he'd get banned pretty quickly. Next is Gray Brute, not Boot, who is a light level 4 warrior tuner. He's another one of the tuners. And whenever a monster is destroyed by this card gains 500 attack. When this card is destroyed as a result of battle, special summon 1 gray monster from your hand. He's another one of those spam ones, but he has really low attack. But it gets better if he can actually destroy something. And it can get better and better if he can keep doing that. So that's pretty good. Next is the true boss monster of the deck, which is the Gray Hollow one, who is a dark level 10, I believe. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's a 10. And he's a Warrior Fusion effect, who is a fusion of Gray Captain plus Gray Dark Knight, which are the other 2 boss monsters. Every time this monster attacks your opponent directly, add 1 gray counter to this card, max 3. If there are 3 gray counters on this card, you win the duel. He literally has a win condition in his description, and he's a pretty sizable card, but getting him summoned might be a little bit hard, because his fusion materials are an Xyz and and a Synchro monster. And I don't know if this deck would be considered OP or good in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this is just a card set, and I made it myself, this isn't real. But if you all think it's good, comment about it, and tell me what you think. But that's all, guys. I'll see you all later. In a second. There we go.